Hey, and we're live. Episode 29. Wow. What you focus on expands. And this is basically the show about positive strategies. It started when the corona hit, and we put this together to help you shift focus from what's not working, because we hear a lot of that on the media, to what's working. And with me, two amazing ladies. It's ladies only today. I have here on the other side, uh, my right, your left, I guess, it's Nicole Raess. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do, Nicole?
Yes, sure. It's a pleasure to be here. Lovely ladies around here. And yes, I do accompany people to overcome their fear. And because I always hear people get stuck in their life and they're stuck in their fear and they don't know how to move. So I help them to get out of there and implement a new way of thinking so that you can really look into your future and change some things. It's not so difficult actually, but you have to do it. And my name again is Nicole Raess. I'm an entrepreneur since over the last 20 years, a happy mommy of two kids, and I bring my strategies from my sports into my coaching. I was an ex-triathlete, and yes, I'm gonna bring you three tips today. And you can, after this interview, start implement those three tips straight into your life and see what changes gonna happen in your life with them.
There's 3 tips on how to get unstuck and get rid of fear, or
Yes, 3 tips how to actually get started to get out of this fear and what you actually need to do to get the changes you actually want to have in your life.
right. That's super helpful. Thank you very much, Nicole. Looking forward to that, because I think some of us might be still a little bit in shock mode. There's a lot of changes that are going on, and this will help you. All right, thank you. Where are you from, by the way?
Good question. I'm from Switzerland.
Okay, you live in the German-speaking part?
Yes, I live basically between Zurich and Zug.
Okay, good. A couple of people are joining us. Boise White, no sound.
Okay.
What do you mean, no sound? Okay. Can everybody hear us? Oh, okay. Maybe he has no sound. I'm not sure. Everyone else can all hear us, each other well, right?
Yeah, perfectly.
Can you help us out? If you don't hear us, can you put it in the comment from the audience? Katie's here. Hey, Katie. And Armin Ziegler. Welcome. A couple of other people have joined. So if you join now, please put in where you're from. I would really love to hear where you're from. All right. And in the middle here, we have Tracie. Tracie, can you also share with us where you're from and what you do, please?
Sure. I'm Tracie Frankmeyer, and I'm living in Cologne, Germany. I've been here 35 years, originally from Seattle, Washington. And I see some of my Cologne peeps are here with me. So a shout out to Boise and Armin. Thank you guys for joining. And I'm going to be sharing today my story and how I dealt with adversity and how you all can deal with adversity too.
That's another super useful thing. Thank you very much. How to deal with adversity. I mean, right now and also anytime. I mean, I'm guessing every single one of you has faced adversity in their lives.
Oh, yeah. And we're all dealing with it right now with COVID-19. It's changed, put the world upside down, you know. And I want to share with people what I use to help me deal with a life and death situation that they can use all the time, not just for COVID-19, but especially right now in COVID-19.
Right. Okay. Deborah Woodson says, hi, Tracie.
Hey, Eva.
And Sheriff says, we hear you well. Thank you very much, Sheriff, for helping out. Okay, good. Wow. Powerful stuff today on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies power. All right, so let's start with you, Nicole, with your 3 tips on how to get yourself unstuck.
Yes, I think as you just said, it was actually important before that COVID situation already. Is to focus, to actually know where you want to go with your life. And I talk to so many people, they say, like, I want to change something, but I don't know how. And if you ask them, well, do you have a goal? Do you know what you actually want to reach, and within what time? They go like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
it's the reason why people don't get what they want.
Absolutely. I mean, if you go buy a ticket for a train, if you want to go take the train, you need to know where you want to go to, right? And that's the same thing, and even more important, from my opinion, to know where you want to go in your life. So I always start with that really simple exercise, actually, and it's so effective though, is that you start to reflect yourselves and start to write down where you want to be short term, meaning like in the next 6 months, and where you want to be in the next 12 months, and where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. And then not only business-wise, of course, talking as a Swiss now here, if you start talking with people, it's always about business, but but it's important to know where you want to be for you personally, and then probably also with your family, with your partnership, and with your business.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Try to keep it balanced.
Exactly. Yeah. That's point number one. And then it's very important to really take time for this exercise and take this really seriously and write it down.
Yeah, right. That's a very good point. I don't know if you heard about that Harvard study that they done twice with MBA graduates, where they asked how many actually have written goals, and not very many. It was like 3%.
Yeah.
That's going to make the difference.
Absolutely.
My coach, Mac Newton, he always says, if you don't write it down, it's just a wish.
Yes.
Not a goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yes. Glad you brought that up. By the way, if you have any questions, those of you watching, please put them in the comments and we'll answer them best we can. Let's keep this interactive as possible. All right. So step number one, take your time and reflect on your short, midterm, and longer term goals. What's next?
And next step is to really visualize what your goals are. You really need to feel into your goals with every cell of your body. And that's where I found myself a couple of years ago. I was coming from my sports, Spitzensport, how to say Spitzensport in English?
Performance sport.
Performance sport, yes. I was like, no.
You're a native English speaker. Is Spitzensport performance sport?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, performance sport. Like I was in the Swiss national team, and I was always good in focusing my goals. I have it like a movie inside of me, and I always thought I don't need to write down my goals, and I never reached the goals within the time I wanted them to reach them, you know. And once I realized, as you said before, how important it is to actually write them down, then you become a total different way of actually visualizing your goals.
Right. And you said something very interesting before, Nicole. You said feel them with every cell in your body. How do you do that? Do you have a tip on how to do that?
Yes, that's actually the third tip I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Very good point. That's how I realize how the easiest way actually to really visualize and bring it in every cell of your body is if you implement that exercise into your daily routine of how can I say this now? A daily routine of not mind power. I do this mind power exercise, but I want to actually say the first step is if you lie in bed before you go to sleep, to fall into sleep, it's very important to go through your goals again, and you implement your goals into your mind power, or I'm losing that. I'm not finding the right word for it now in English. Meditation. Here we go. Excuse my English here.
Say that word again. I didn't get it. What was the word?
You implement your goals in your meditation.
Oh, in your meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a good way to visualize it before you sleep. Because as probably most of us know, or a lot of people know, that the last thoughts you have before you fall asleep will still work about 4 hours in that state of half sleep, like the alpha status.
Ah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So the last thought still will be worked through the next 4 hours of
Yeah,
sleep.
It
Sleep.
really, yeah, it really goes deep inside of your memory. And if you then visualize and feel and listen to the sounds of you see the goal. Like, for example, you see yourselves within in 5 years from now, having a nice house at the beach, very successful, and or you see yourselves in front of an audience. You can really feel into this during your meditation.
Nice. Okay.
And doing that every night, every single night when you go to bed, it makes a big difference, because you start to really feel into your goal.
All right. I'm going to try that tonight. And it felt like you described my goal: have a house by the beach. Thank you very much. Let's see what our audience has to say. So we have Marlis from Berlin dialing in. Hello, Marlis. And she says, interesting, writing and visualization together are working. Do it on my morning routine. Feel with every cell. Want to know more about that. And Sheriff says, internalize. Yeah. Can you say anything else about how to feel it? So from your high performance sports, where you said you use this a lot, how can you get into that state, Nicole?
I think the easiest way to get in that state is you use also the way of your breathing. Like, I breathe in, like, I think it's quite a human thing that you have a lot of things in your mind all the time. And sometimes we find ourselves being all over the place with the thoughts. And that keeps you away from the focus, from focusing on where you actually want to go.
Right.
Keeps you off track, basically. So I use the breathing technique so that I start, if that starts to, the thoughts go all over the place, I go,
the mind circus?
Yes, the mind circus. Then I say to myself, okay, stop. And then I start to breathe in positive thoughts, everything that makes me happy. And then I breathe out everything that takes me off track. Everything that is not really bringing me a step further towards where I want to go, I breathe out.
Okay, nice.
So that brings me in the center.
So breathe in positive thoughts. One of my mentors also said you can breathe in and imagine they have a color, a nice color, like a bright yellow, pink, whatever.
Yes.
And breathe out the toxic.
Yeah. Because the interesting thing is that humans, we cannot think both negative and positive. Mm-hmm. So why should we not always think those thoughts that actually bring us ahead in future?
Right. Very helpful. Thank you very much, Nicole. Do you have anything to add to that, Tracie?
I was just sitting here listening to Nicole, and that's really, really helpful. And I've heard that, and I think that many times we cannot think positive and negative at the same time. So since we have to think anyway, we might as well think positive.
Exactly.
Yeah. The whole topic of the show is focus on what works, and this will expand. Don't keep pondering over all the stuff that you don't like.
Exactly, because you only get the same result anyway,
Yeah.
Over and over. You're kind of like, you're giving it energy. It's like
absolutely
the story with the two wolves,
Yes. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
One really bad one, one a really gentle wolf. Who's gonna win? The one you feed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same. It gives me goosebumps every time I talk.
Exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
good.
Excellent.
Very, very helpful. Thank you, Nicole. If you have any more questions, Marlis, did that answer your question? Then put them in the, okay. She says, thank you. Great learning about how to breathe. Yeah, breathe. Yeah, I think breathing feeds our cells. So that's a very, very helpful analogy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And can I add one small thing to that?
Please. Sometimes
it helps even to breathe really loud, It's like if you're really distracted, you can make some sound with your breathing. Like you really go like, More intense.
Let's all try that together.
It's really good because you let go of all that crap you don't need.
Nice. I feel better already.
Yes.
All right. Take some down. You guys at home, try this at home.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Very, very useful and easy to use. Tracie, what is it that you would like to share?
Yeah, well, I would like to, I said at the beginning of the top of the show that, COVID-19 has turned the world upside down and, people are really suffering. We are walking through fire. We've lost jobs. We don't know how to pay the rent. We don't know if we're going to make the mortgage payment. We're standing in line for food. All these things. People are suffering. And because they're walking through fire, or we're all walking through fire, and I have really walked through a life and death fire situation, I wanted to share my story in the hopes that I can encourage everybody else or inspire everybody else to try to live their best life nonetheless and just to survive. So briefly, I've been living in Cologne, Germany for 35 years, and I came here because I married a German man. When we married, I was 3 months pregnant. We could not wait to have a baby. So I moved to Cologne, Germany. I didn't speak the language. I didn't know anybody but Helmut, the father of my son. And nonetheless, I was over the moon happy. We're having a baby. All my prenatal...
Hold on, Tracie.
Yeah.
Gareth says that he can't hear you very well. Can you get a little closer to the mic?
Yeah, is this better?
That's probably better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so all my prenatal tests showed that everything was fine with me and my son. In fact, to this very day, I still have the prenatal heart rate or printout of his heart rate showing that his heartbeat was steady and strong and normal. So when my son was born with 10 fingers and, 10 toes and these big, beautiful eyes, I was over the moon with excitement. Well, when we were released from the hospital, the doctors explained to Helmut, because I couldn't speak German, that they made an appointment for us for the following day at the University Clinic of Cologne Pediatric Cardiology Department. And this appointment was because they weren't sure if Mark, our son, if his skin color had a bluish tone, and if it did, could that be because of my skin color? So I didn't want to go. I just had 9 months of successful prenatal tests, and Christmas was coming, and this was going to be the most glorious Christmas of my life. Still, something said, Tracie, just go, and then this is maybe just the German way, and you can be done with all of these exams. We go to the hospital the next day, and the chief cardiologist performs a 30-minute examination where he doesn't say a word. Now, imagine this. You're sitting in a hospital room with a doctor, and he's not saying anything, examining your baby. Well, when he finally does speak, after 30 minutes, he says, and this is the first language I learned in German, was ich sehe ist leider nicht gut. If you guys understand that, what I see is unfortunately not good. We had to leave my baby there. And the next day, they'd made more tests, including a heart catheterization. And I didn't even know what a heart catheterization was. And the results were devastating. And so the end game is that the result was that my son was born with only half of his heart. So you can imagine how devastating. The first time mother, I'm all by myself. I'm like, how am I supposed to deal with this? And then to add a little bit more salt in my wound, the professor tells me, he says, he was born incompatible with nature. And I thought, so what the hell does incompatible with nature mean? I couldn't wrap my head around that. My baby looked normal. In any event, and then he told me, he said, you're going to have to leave him here to die. There is no hope for him. There is no hope for him. So in my mind, I thought I can either run, but I knew there'd be no place to hide. And I thought, my God, death is forever. I will not have peace in my life if I do not do everything I can to save my child's life. So that's what I did. I fought for his life. And today, 35 years later, this is what no hope looks like, right? And
that's what no incompatible with nature doesn't look like, right?
Right. It's incompatible. I don't know if you can see it. Flyboarding,
Nice.
Yes. So my message is that, we can deal with adversity, and because we are resilient. You know, our roots lie in resiliency. If you think about your forefathers and their forefathers and their forefathers before them, they had to be resilient, and they knew, because they knew that the struggle of life is real. And if you
Yes.
think about us today, I mean, we have it so easy. We're spoiled. For example, when's the last time you remembered anybody's telephone number? You don't have to, because you just put it right into your cell phone and you're done with it. You know, we're actually quite spoiled. And so my point is that we are stronger than we think we are. We are resilient, you know?
Yes. I think this crisis here we're facing shows us how strong we are. I'm amazed when you look around at what's going on. And I'm amazed some of these YouTube clips and some of the stuff you see online, at the creativity and the geniusness, whatever the word is in English.
Yeah.
When you're watching this, it's like these people are in such bad situations, and what do? They make the best out of it. They come up with all these new things and new ideas, new apps, new functions, new games, new humor.
Exactly right. And that is character. And character is developed in difficult times.
Exactly. Yeah, very true. Yes.
Looking for opportunities, looking for a way to get to plan B. It's like I say in my book, Lord, if I cannot move this mountain, help me get around it, you know?
Yeah, over or through, around it.
Exactly right. Some kind of way.
Yes, interesting. Another thing comes to mind, that in the earlier days when we used to do carts with horses, you know, the wheels of the wooden carts, they made out of the trees that were the most crooked, standing in the middle of the field, because they had to deal with the most adversity. And they had to become really super strong, and they wanted those strong trees for the wheels, which is the most important part of the cart.
There you go. Perfect analogy. Exactly right.
Very,
so you know, the point is, when we got to have hope, you know, and we got to have hope, and hope is tied together with faith. And if you have hope, you know, hope is that light that shines through in the middle of the night when you're bumping up against the worry walls, you know, that ray of light that lets you know, we got hope. We can get through another day. And you got to have faith, because faith is the confidence in what we hope for, and the belief in what we can. You know?
Yeah, totally.
So important. I believe that my son would be healthy, even though everything all around me said it's not possible.
Right. Very true. Wow. Very touching story. Thank you very much for sharing this with us, Tracie.
Absolutely.
We have a couple of comments here. Sandrine says character. Yeah, 100%. And Deborah says he looks pretty compatible to me. You share his phone number? Is he single? I'm just kidding. Anya said 3 fantastic women. Thank you very much, Anya. Always supportive. And so can you give us some tips about...
I've lost you.
Can you still hear me, Nicole?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Tracie, can you hear me? Hello. All right, so let's dial in with the audience. Marla says, if I cannot move the mountain, there's a way around. Yes, exactly. So how about you guys? Let's see. Adversity. Give us one word that you would counter adversity with. Let's play a little game. We're fine, Tracie. We're fine. It must be your audio. Yeah, let me text you on WhatsApp quickly. So in the meantime, from the audience, give us one word that you would counter adversity with. All right, well, let's start with Nicole, and we're going to put these words up on screen. One word. Sandrine says faith. All right. What about you, Nicole?
Believe. I think
adversity.
It's self-esteem. I think that's what you need.
Self-esteem. Very good. Super important. Yes. Self-esteem. What would you throw at adversity when it came your way? Armin says hope. Very nice. Yes.
you know what comes into my mind is to have only plan A. Many years we always said, what about plan B? And me, with my mindset as a triathlete, I never had a plan B. I wanted to be I knew my goal, and that's it, no?
Yes.
But your focus is not on plan A when you already think what plan B could be.
Yeah, very true. That's like having a 99% commitment.
Yeah.
We always have a back door out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And commitment, you just say, name it.
Deborah says calm. Nice. What else would you throw at adversity? Anybody watching? What would you throw at adversity if it came your way? Plan B. Don't know what that means. Sandrine says, well, plan B is basically an option. So kind of like you say, okay, I'm going to do this. If this doesn't work, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It already weakens your goal. It already gives your goal less power because you're kind of like, okay, well, I can. And Mac Newton, I like to quote him because he's amazing. He says, take quitting off the table. It's just not an option. Just go for it and take quitting off the table.
Yeah.
All right, Marla says flexibility.
Very important too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but if you throw flexibility at adversity, what happens? It kind of like crumbles away because you're too flexible. It can't really touch you anymore. Oh, Sandrine only has a plan A. Okay, good for you. All right. All right. So my word for today, to throw at adversity, what I would do comes to my first is passion. I throw passion at adversity and it kind of crumbles away and it goes poof up in smoke. Because when you have enough passion for what you do, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. All right, so kind of wrapping this up with a lot of positive anti-adversity words. What I want to do here is just let you know that we're having the summit tomorrow. If you guys want to join, you can still do that by signing up. We're having a 6-hour summit with all positive strategies, longer keynotes, more in depth, and it's going to be amazing.
Cool.
In the comments when we're done. And thank you very much for showing up. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing. Thank you, Tracie. Sorry for the tech issues you're having. And thanks for all the audience that was watching. You guys were brilliant today.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you
Pleasure. See you
at the summit, hopefully, and otherwise next week, Monday.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.